All right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for tomorrow. And to all the first-time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. And to all the subscribers, welcome back. Before we jump into this chart, I just want to go ahead and quickly announce to everyone, because this is something that I have been emphasizing, but a lot of new-time investors or first-time viewers are coming across the channel. And yes, you're looking for the chart analysis, but this is what happens in a lot of the videos, and you guys are leaving money on the table, guys. This second half of the video is where the money's at. I've done it endless times with Pendule Duo sitting at 124, ran up to 147 in just 5 days. Charge point at $19, and in just a few days it ran up to 32. And Skills at 14, 15, and then we talked about it again at 12. I wanted to emphasize it, and it ran up 19 plus, right? So we've done it countless times. Now, not every single time I talk about a stock towards the end of the video means that it's guaranteed to go up, but I share with you guys new opportunities, and this is where the money's at. Yes, you're here for the chart analysis. I get it. I can't blame you. I understand you. If I was watching a video myself or watching one of my own videos, I'm just looking for the chart analysis. I only care about the stocks I'm invested in and move on. I get it. But in this channel, I make chart analysis out of gratitude, and I add on towards the second half of the video new opportunities, and this is where the money's at. Now, not only do I talk about the ticker symbol you want to add to your watch list, but I also discuss, as you see on the screen, the ticker symbols I mention over in the morning over at the Discord, guys. Every single morning, I mention the stocks I'm watching, and if that's something that interests you, the link to the Discord is down below. Slots are filling up pretty quickly, and we have a community of 100 plus members already, all looking to learn and grow together. Smart, intelligent investors, all focusing on the same goal, to maximize profits and minimize losses. And if that's something that you're interested in and you want to become a part of, as you can see on the screen, the different opportunities that have presented themselves in the last several weeks, you're more than welcome to join us, and we look forward to having you join us. Let's jump into this chart and stay tuned on in. All I'm asking for is 3 to 5 more minutes of your time right after this chart analysis to talk about the stocks I mentioned in the morning, as well as the ticker symbol you want to add to your watch list. So here we are with Vxrt, Vaxart Inc. And before we jump into this, I do want to share with you guys why most of the vaccine companies are falling. And Vaxart is probably being affected indirectly. And it's by this waiver that the US and the World Health Organization wants to do on coronavirus vaccine patents, guys. This takes away the whole purpose of each vaccine for each company and making their profitability from each one. And this is a very controversial topic, but this is indirectly focusing on affecting all these companies in some way, shape, or form. And some of the statements made are very, very true. But instead of removing the patents, why don't you just bring down the prices, right? Like, they're saying free the vaccine, and it's basically making it much more controlled by not allowing these companies to be monopolies, I guess, in some way, and actually have more competition or open competition, which I'm fine with. But it's to the point where the companies that were ahead or had better, efficiency with the virus and stuff, with their vaccine capabilities, they're basically going to get knocked down by just anyone, any copy, any generic. And this waiver removes all the hard work that these companies have put in. Now, as a shareholder, right, individually, everyone that's a shareholder of all these different individual stocks, not myself, but just saying, as shareholders, it will affect the shareholders in some way, shape, or form if it's affecting the company. But this is probably the best statement and why they're doing this, and I can understand it. But like I said, instead of just removing the patent and making anyone just copy their intellectual property, why don't you just make them sell at a lower price? Like, it will require them to have more volume and go ahead and make it more accessible around the world. But it's to the point where they're not even really negotiating that. They're just like, hey, we want to remove the patents and make it a worldwide thing that everyone can make the same vaccine as you without an issue. And that's what was making these companies so special or lucrative in the market. So this is the perfect statement to just condense it and resume it all. So it says here, it's not the case where the rich countries could insulate themselves by vaccinating the entire population and not care about what happens in the rest of the world. Okay, that's exactly the statement right there. And that is a very true statement, and that's just my opinion. And I think everyone else could agree. Like, what happens around the world could affect at some point not just rich countries, but any country, because what's the point of fixing the issue in one section of the world, but the rest of the world is falling apart? At the end of the day, the world is one, and even though things are so far away, I mean, look how this all started. This didn't even start in certain parts of the world. It came from, I mean, there's a lot of theories, but wherever it came from, it ended up in parts of the world where it was nowhere near that location, wherever the location was. Like, I'm not here to talk about controversial topics. I'm here to talk about stocks. But this is a very controversial statement here, and everything about this article is very activist, and I get it. But instead of just removing the patent, right, just give these companies a chance to be who they are because of what they created or the innovation they were able to, obtain. Give them a chance, but make them bring the price down. Don't just eradicate their possibilities of competing, because it's going to overflow the market to the point where every single vaccine company is not near worthless now, but there isn't as much lucrative thought to it or approach to bring investors in. If anything, it's bringing them out, because there's nothing special about the vaccine at that point if a company is making one, right, as an investor's perspective. So it's very interesting, and it's affecting the whole sector of the vaccine companies, but it's also going to make it more accessible around the world. So it's a give or take type of situation. In my opinion, instead of just taking the patent away and all the hard work that these companies put in to create this, if it really takes that type of hard work, then instead of doing that, make them sell it at a lower price. Even if they have to sell some at a loss, but don't take away their patent, right? And they just want to waive it, and it basically almost makes now pricing very competitive and more of the same type of vaccine, just different brands, and removing all the hard work that these individual vaccines that were probably turning into a monopoly. And I think that's what they don't want it to be, because this is a world crisis. So it's a double-edged sword. But let's talk about what's going on here with the vaccine. And I'm a very neutral guy, and I'm not here to talk about the controversies, guys. And I don't want to get into the emotional aspect of this situation and morals and ethics, because, at the end of the day, I'm just here to share with you guys what's indirectly affecting these stocks, and it has to do with this statement. And as you read through it, there's very valid statements, but instead of just taking it away from all these companies, their patents, and making a waiver so anyone can make their vaccine without a problem, they should have forced these companies to lower their prices. Because they even talk about how these companies are making huge amounts of money based off of this right here. It says it right there, and you can see the names right there. And these are basically the two most well-known around the world right now. So, they should have made them bring down the prices, not remove their patents. Or I don't even know if it's happened yet or it's in the works, but very interesting. So here we are, Vaxart, right? VXRT. So let's talk about the support here. The support is 634. If that gets broken through, you want to watch this carefully, and you want to see if the bulls are trying to reappear, or are the bears tearing this one down fairly fast. Super important. Now, the 50-day moving average is 754. Anything below it is bearish. Anything above it is bullish. Okay, I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware of this. But before getting anywhere near this, the bulls need to break through the highest point here on this downfall and sideways action, and that's 721. Now, breaking through that point does not signify or guarantee that the bulls have gained control. If not, that just creates a support for the bulls to get one step closer to the 50-day moving average and ending up back in bullish territory. So I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware of this. It's important. It is just for us as investors to know where the momentum is going, but it does not signify or guarantee that the bulls have gained control. The bulls need to get back into bullish territory to start obtaining some control over the chart or leverage. As always, guys, if you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell so you don't miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And all I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. Helps out the YouTube channel. And to stay tuned on in 3 to 5 more minutes of your time so that you know what ticker symbols I talked about this morning over at the Discord. And if that's something that interests you, you're more than welcome to join us. The link is down below in the description. And I have a ticker symbol for you guys you won't want to miss, and you definitely want to add it to your watch list. So the ticker symbol I have for us today is one that I've talked about multiple times, and every single time it touches $20, it gets more interesting. But for the first time, it's hit below $20, and this is becoming more interesting than ever. I've said it before, but it's definitely one to have on your watch list moving forward. And every single time it's hit $20, it jumps back up, giving 10 to 20% swing trade opportunities. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that's going to happen again, but this is the time to watch this one closely. But before we jump into that, I want to share with you guys the stocks I mentioned this morning over at the Discord. And if it's something that interests you, you're more than welcome to join us. We're 100 plus members already over at the Discord, all looking to learn and grow together. Great, smart, intelligent investors in the community, and that's something you can become part of as well. And we look forward to having you join us. So, AMS, I talked about it in the morning. It was currently sitting at 445. And by the way, when I mention stocks, it does not mean that's an entry or an exit. It's not financial advice or anything of that sort. It's just me sharing my opinions and stocks that I'm watching. Now, just because I'm watching it doesn't mean it's something to react upon right away or to react upon at all, right? So for the first time, we've actually had two stocks in the same day fall, but both of them have been opportunities, because it's not about where you start watching it. It's all about how long do you stay watching it and where do you find the opportunity. The opportunities are there. They never leave. The moment you start watching a stock, the opportunity's there. But sometimes it takes patience, it takes time, and you got to have your indicators and the charts speaking to you through the movement. So let's look at this. So AMS needed more volume in the morning. TRVN had a lot of volume, and what happened? It pulled back, hit 170, and it jumped back up to about 178. So this didn't give much other than just about, I'd say 5%, like 3 to 5% on the day. This was a realistic expectation move after it dipped and came back up. Now, Apple, I talked about an option play that I did. This was a home run for the day. It gave 20% profit when I bought it at 80, and I sold it at 0.97. So that was the 128 put expiring tomorrow. So this was very risky, and this is something I didn't want anyone to act upon, if not just watch. And even though I sold at 0.97, I even said it, the stock may go lower, but profits are profits. And just a few moments after, this turned into 1.17, okay? So I missed out on another 20%, if I'm quite honest with you guys. But I'm all about executing, and profits are profits, and that's what it's all about. So AMS actually collapsed after me stating it in the morning. This is the perfect example of not expecting right away, instant gratification. And when you start watching a stock, you really want to watch it, and you want to look for weakness or a floor. No one knows it, right? And most of the time, the stocks I'm watching, they don't collapse like this. They don't. Usually they have a pullback, they show some strength and take off. But what happened was there was not enough volume. I emphasized it. So a lot of the volume that was showing up was outflow, and you can see that here by the bars. Okay, very little green bars. But something that's interesting is if you really watch a stock and you really want to look for opportunity, it takes time sometimes. And the confirmation is here. Hit a low of 311, and then it hit up to 317, 319, and then 322. So within 320 range, right? Or let's just say 325 all the way down to 310, that was a range of opportunity, okay? And it was looking like it was a floor every single time between these two and these two. And look what happened after, okay? Did I know that was going to happen? No. Did any other investor know that was going to happen? No. But when you start watching a stock, even throughout this discouraging weakness, you need to watch it because the opportunity is about to come. Whether it came here, or it came here, it was bound to give back at least 5 to 10%. But you had to watch it. That's why you can't just jump right away. You can't be eager. You have to watch and see. Now, not every single time stocks are just going to collapse. Sometimes they move very fast, pulls back down here to 391 and jumps back up to 419, consolidates, and then jumps up again. That happens a lot of times. So it's always about not having fear of missing out, and then also timing yourself and understanding where the weakness is. But early on, since I mentioned it around 445 here, it jumped up to 491. This gave about 10 to 15% right away. But if you didn't play it in the pre-market, the opportunity was missed. Then it fell down, hit a low here of 391, and jumped up to 419. That was another 5% opportunity. But where the home run happened, even though I'm not going to call this a home run, was here after the big collapse. And then once the confirmation happened several times, anyone that's prepared and equipped, like I always say, this is my opinion, I watch for weakness, I buy in, and the risk of trying is putting a stop limit loss or a stop loss, whichever one you're more comfortable with, and then letting it trigger. If it touches it, call it a day. At least you tried. And if it doesn't get touched, ride that one up to your 5 to 10%, 10 to 20%, and whatever it is that you're trying to aim to do. So this is what happened today. Perfect realistic expectations of how the market really works. No one's perfect, but opportunities are always there. So let's talk about the ticker symbol you want to add to your watch list. And if you want to become part of this community of growing and learning investors, we're 100 plus members. Check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. So let's talk about this. Which one do you want to add to your watch list? You may have it already and may not. And as I'm talking, the stock has been running. Wow. So this stock has never been below $20 since last year, guys. Okay. And here we are seeing it hit a low of $19.41. And as I'm talking, this was actually at $19 and already got back into $20. This is a stock you want to watch. I would not rush into making a decision with this stock, me, personal opinion. But I would do research on the stock, understand more of what's going on. They've partnered up with so many big companies to the point that they're with IBM and many others, okay, that everyone's talked about. And this has to do with a sector that is growing, and a lot of analysis ratings and investors are saying this is a multi-billion, if not trillion-dollar company. And right now it's sitting at a market cap of 37 billion. So you can think about the room this stock has to grow in market cap and price. So definitely watch this one either for consolidation or a healthy pullback, because this below $20 is very rare. And as I was talking, it's been running back up. So very interesting. As always, guys, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.